I am so in love with loving. I love the fact that I understand what this whole idea is that I've grasped.
What love is, in very simple, accurate terms, is being in the receptive mode so that I am the full recipient of how Source feels about whatever I'm focused upon in this moment. In other words, that's what love is. It's pure Source flowing through you, unrestricted.
Yes, and I love knowing that I have the ability to be unconditional with my love. I love knowing that I'm creating all of
Well, you got to be unconditional with your love, or you can't always have your love, because there are so many conditions that would prevent your love from being in the moment.
Exactly.
And because you have so many beliefs about different conditions that love can't flow. So if you're not predominantly unconditional, you're not predominantly in love.
Yes.
Worth knowing.
Yes.
Worth taking a moment for. That's a really good conversation, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, and I love knowing that I control everything around me.
I love knowing that everything comes in response to what I'm offering.
Yes.
And sometimes I do it deliberately, and sometimes I do it indeliberately.
But that's okay.
But it's still coming in response to what I've got going on. Good.
Right.
So that means you never blame anybody for anything, right?
No, it's all me.
Well, you are really a superhuman.
I know this already. I love knowing this. I do. I know that I control everything around me. I know that the contrast that comes into my life, I put it there, and it's okay to be there.
And let's say something more about it. You didn't put it there because you're bad at creating. You put it there because there is benefit in it, because expansion comes from variety and from focus, and contrast causes you to focus. And now you know what you know. There's no risk in focusing.
No
If you don't know what you know,
right,
then it feels a little risky to focus. But when you know that you have the ability to put your attention wherever you want it to be. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Knowing what you know and being a master at creation,
right,
could you focus on a world problem or even an individual in deep distress and maintain your alignment with Source?
No. Oh, yes, I can. Yes.
Well, both answers are right in this sense. So Jesus was doing it, in other words, but that's because you've mastered the unconditioned. So even when you're looking at the condition, the unconditioned is still dominant. If you could look at a problem while you're really knowing that the solution is coming, then the problem isn't painful and you're allowing the solution. That's such a good thing to know. In fact, the problem then feeds you because you're not afraid of it. You know it's the first step in the solution. We want to just stay here for a minute. Unconditional means maintaining a high vibration no matter what the conditions are. Because sometimes it sounds to you all like what we're saying is just take your attention away from everything unwanted, which makes you feel not only unkind, but it feels impossible because the world is all around you and you just can't go through life not seeing stuff that's around you. But if you practice knowing the well-being in things, in time, you can be that master where you can feel aligned even when there is something going on. In other words, we've been saying for a while, you'll get so you will already have received the solution before you've even observed the problem. And that's happening more and more. Esther realized that when the tree fell right on the parking place where her van would have been if she hadn't received the impulse to take it out of there. She got the solution before the problem even came. Have you ever had the experience where just out of the blue it seemed like a thought came to you and you just pondered it and thought about it and got yourself sort of solid in the subject, and then someone with a problem presented something to you and you'd already practiced the solution in your mind because you were in the receptive mode and your inner being knew what you were about to encounter and prepared you for it. The more you get in the receptive mode, the easier it is to stay there, isn't it? So
yes. So also what I do love about this is that I love that I know I can go general. when things don't feel good.
Well, those are the techniques.
Yeah,
those are
the
the techniques of
techniques.
staying in the receptive mode. And so the rule of thumb is be as general as you need to be in order to feel good. Be as specific as you can be in order to feel the thrill of the momentum. It's sort of like Esther. She got this little Audi R8 and she could not believe how it felt to be in it. She couldn't believe how the engine felt to her as she heard it. The harmony of the contraption was unlike anything that she'd ever experienced before. And it's the fact that it was so low to the ground, its aerodynamics were such that she could move faster with more skill and accuracy in that vehicle than anything that she'd ever driven. And you got to remember, she'd been driving those big old buses that were tall and awkward and cumbersome, and so this just felt amazing to her.